Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello everybody. So in this video class, we are going to discuss on the next subtopic 3.2 about project planning. So the keyword that we're going to look is project planning. Alright, so before we begin and looking at the learning outcomes, I just want to highlight when we're talking about planning, it means before. So before what? Before any actions. Okay, before any action. So whenever we want to do anything, okay, we want to plan beforehand. And then when we do things, okay, we are going to follow the plan. So basically the plan is the stage before any actions are taken. Right, so it's before. Right, so before we look in more details, let's look at the learning outcomes. Okay, so at the end of this lesson, students should be able to define what is project planning. And then students are able to explain the importance of project planning. And then we have more technical terms, Gantt Chart. So we're going to study about Gantt Chart, alright, and explain the importance of Gantt Chart. Okay, alright. So Gantt Chart is actually related to project scheduling. Right, so we're going to look this in more detail. And then by the end of the lesson, students should be able to discuss the 5W1H2. So this is to make decision. So it's about making decision. Okay, decision making. Alright, so we're going to look at this in more detail. Okay, in previous chapter 3.1, again remember chapter 3 is about engineering management, it's about management. So in 3.1 we talk about leadership, and now we want to look another important aspect of management, planning. Alright, so let's move on. Okay, alright, so project planning. So as I said before, project planning is a stage that we do before we make any actions, right? Before we complete any things. So you have to start with planning. So what is planning? So planning is very simple. You want to order, okay, means arrange, order, make arrangement, arrange all activities, okay, in a manner that will help our project objective achieve. Right? So basically what it means here is, first of all, we need to know what activities are involved. What are the activities that we need to do, we are going to do. Okay, first of all, the activities, define the activities. What activities we need to do in order to achieve objective. Okay, but not just listing the activities, but we also need to plan, arrange, okay, the work activities. Which activity going to start first? Which activity is going to start next? Which activities can start along together? Okay, which activities cannot work? Which activities can only be done when another activity is done. So those kind of things. And then not just the order, but also how long, the duration, how much cost. So those things what we have to set, what we have to define in project planning. Okay, so project planning also, okay, is a part of project management. But it includes scheduling. Okay, one of the aspect in planning is you have to set the schedule, okay, buat jadual, and also we're going to use the schedule to monitor the work progress, okay, the working progress. What are the progress? So this is the important aspect in project planning. Okay, we don't just plan, we're going to refer to the plan, okay, during the completion of the project. Okay, so I would like to also highlight here, you can pause this video if you want and read through, but I would like to highlight also, okay, from the schedule that we plan, we can decide how much time, cost, quality, change, risk, and the issues according to the scheduling. So those are the things in project planning. So here are steps in project planning. So we got 8 steps here. So number 1, set scope of statement, and then preparation of the work breakdown structure. Okay. Number 3, project scheduling. Number 4, project resources. Number 5, project planning. 6, quality assurance plan. 7, risk management, and 8, communication plan. Okay, class, at this point, okay, some of you might have the feeling that, oh, this is quite hard, it's quite difficult, the terms used. So, but class, please do not worry too much. Again, I always tell my students that planning is things that we have already done plenty of times in your life. How you plan to get to college? Let's say you are taking public transportation, So you must have to plan. You need to plan your journey, such as that what time you're going to fetch the bus, how much is the fee of the bus. Okay, so if the bus is going to get off at 10:30 a.m. so what time you should get out from your house and go to the bus stop. So those are the things you already plan. Maybe like in your life, you make your study schedule. Okay, so your life schedule, your daily schedule. So those daily schedule is actually a part of project planning. That's your plan, your life. So again, scope statement and all these anti-communication plan, they are actually something not really new to you. Right, so let's look in more detail. So what is scope statement? So scope statement is actually you want to set the boundaries of the project. So let's say you want to make a business, you want to do business. So you have to set within what is the scope, what is your scope of business. I mean like, let's say you want to make a printing business. So printing business. So how many printers that you're going to provide? Okay, alright. So here you set your scope. Who's going to be your clients, your customers? Okay, your friends. Okay, are you going to take your lecture also for your customers? Maybe not. So you want to make sure that you understand the scope of your business, right? Right. So those are scope statements. So you want to make your prepare your scope statement first. What are scope? And then preparation of the work breakdown. So what sort of works involved? So basically, this is where you define your activities. So let's say again, if you take the printing business, so maybe you might want to start with number one, maybe preparing money to buy printers. That's number one step. Number two, you buy printers. Okay, you buy printers, and then maybe you want to make advertisement. So you got a few activities. You want to set up in order to finalize, to make sure that your project is completed. Right. The number three, you want to make schedule. So now you already know what activities that you're going to do in order to make sure that to complete your business, okay, to run your business. So you want to make sure that you have schedule on that. Okay, how long are you going to take for getting money for your model, for your capital, untuk model cost basically. Okay, how long it takes to buy printers. Okay, when you're going to start advertising. So you have to make those in schedule. Okay, and by having those schedule, we can go to step number 4. Okay, we want to allocate team's time, materials, and budget. So if you work in a team, okay, you want to allocate. Allocate means agih lah. Okay, allocate agih. Okay, who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? How much time your team members will be given to complete their parts? Okay, what sort of materials that you need? Budget, how much money? What sort of tools, equipment that you're going to use? Do we need to buy anything else? Like maybe like printing, we might need to buy some extra inks, extra papers as well, not just the printer. So all those must be considered. Okay, by referring to your schedule. Alright. Number 5, we're talking about procurement planning. So this procurement means something like, let's look at the procurement. So you can go here and find the dictionary. So it's something about obtaining. Before we start, getting anything, we have to obtain it first. So how to obtain? So we might have to contact with company, suppliers. We want to make agreements, filling up forms, okay, paying. How you're going to pay? Through online, getting the receipt. We call it maybe like getting the quotes, and then from the quotes you buy and the stuff that you need, and you need the I forgot the right word for the receipt. Okay, but basically the receipt. So you got the receipt. Okay, so those are basically is about documentation to obtain something. Alright, so another important step in project planning is quality assurance, QA. So basically, quality assurance is about how you're going to ensure that the product or the service that you make, okay, are accordance, in very good quality, in a certain standard quality. Maybe you don't want perfect quality, but you need to you might want to have certain standard, so that your work, okay, or your service, your provide on the service or the products are actually within the standards. Okay, so quality assurance is by always want to control the criteria, the quality that you want to set on. Okay, this is another important aspect, another important step in planning. So risk management. So you want to for each activity, okay, you want to consider what are the risks, what bad things that could happen to the activities or to the project, to the whole project. So by understanding the risk, okay, you can prepare for the worst. You can prepare mitigation strategies. So if this happen, what will happen? So let's say like when you're taking your public transport, taking bus to get back to college. So let's say, what are the risks? Okay, the risk is maybe there's a delay on the bus. So you want to take into account the delay. So you want to make sure that you need to get to the college before 7 p.m. So that you want to make sure that you don't want to get to college, the bus arrive at college exactly at 7 p.m. So you want to take the bus a little bit earlier bus, so that you consider that in case the bus is delayed, okay, you still can arrive at college before 7 p.m. So those kind of things. Alright, so you want to understand the risk and then you can manage the risk. Number 8, last step, communication plan. So now, especially when you work in a team, as a team, you work with team members, you want to let everybody knows your plan. You want to make sure that everyone have easy access to the information needed. Okay, especially when you work in an engineering company, you don't work alone. So you want to know, you want to let people know what strategies you're going to do, what informations, and those of things. So in this part of communication plan, you need to decide what is your platform. Maybe you want to use Google Drive. Maybe you want to use Microsoft Teams. Maybe you want to use Google Classroom. Maybe. So you decide. Or maybe you want, nowadays we have also Canva. Maybe you want to make a presentation slide. So it's easier for many members, okay, when you have more than one members, to work together to complete the slide. So you want to work simultaneously. So maybe having Canva is very good platform that everyone can edit at the same time. Okay, so those kind of things. So what are the importance of project planning? There are a lot of them. So maybe we want to highlight a few. So number 1, we want to carefully consider everything, okay, before we start anything. Okay, because from that, okay, for anticipating what are the things we're going to do, okay, it reduces the chances of failure, okay, but improve the chances to success. Okay, it's also acted as a map to the entire project. So this is important. What is a map? So a map showing direction, okay, to everyone. So in a company of many workers, so you want to let everyone knows, okay, your map, your roadmap. Where are your direction? Where are you at right now? So it's going to be important, very helpful for the workers or for the team members. All right. So it's about assets. We have assets, and then we're going to allocate the assets. Assets is also about human power, about machineries, equipment yang awak ada, budget yang awak ada. So assets. So when we understand what we have, then we can allocate those assets, okay, efficiently and effectively. Okay, another thing I would like to skip here, communication. So we want to avoid misunderstanding, improve efficiency, and then but quite important, completed on time. So those are things important aspect of project planning. Okay, so here we can ask why project fail. So why when we plan something it becomes fail. Okay, so because why? Because we manage poorly, lack of solid project plan. We don't really have a proper planning. Team weakness, poor communication, alright, unrealistic time frame and tasks. So it's unrealistic. You do have activities, you have the list of activities that you need to do, but the time frame given, masa yang diberikan bagi setiap activity itu tidak logik. So that's going to be trouble as well. Okay, so you can read this through, okay, alright, to understand more. Alright, now we're going to jump off to Gantt Chart. So Gantt Chart is a timeline chart. Okay, so Gantt Chart illustrates the start and finish dates. So basically, Gantt Chart is actually a schedule. It's like schedule, you buat jadual, but in the form of Gantt Chart, in the form of timeline chart, and then you decide the start and finish, okay, and summary elements of the project, terminal element and summary element of the project. So what is the function of Gantt Chart is to show which task is going to start first, and which task is going to start simultaneously, okay. The time, how long it takes, the duration for the task to complete, and which task can start simultaneously, and so on. Okay, so this is an example of Gantt Chart. So we got activities. Here. So this is the summary activities. This is the terminal. Okay, the detail. So this activity. So this is the summary one, this is general one, and then we have the detail. Terminal one, the terminal activities. Okay, and so on. And then we have over here, okay, the duration, the time. So it can be days, it can be weeks, it can be months, it can be years. It's up to you, depends on the project. Okay, how long the project. Okay, and here we can see the chart here, the bar here. Okay, so here it says that they're already done. Things already done. So at this point, it shows that oh no, this is planned work. So this is the day where we're going to work. And this the non-working days. Okay, this part here is where we don't work. Okay, alright, so maybe like that. So you're going to monitor. You're going to use this Gantt chart. So once you completed this Gantt chart, you already provided this Gantt chart. You're going to refer this Gantt chart when you complete your task. So maybe like, let's say today is 11 February. So you want to see whether your work according to the progress. So are you here or not? So maybe like you are actually you're already at on 11th of February. Sorry, 11th of March. Here. Okay, you should be here. But when you check, your work is still here. So here you have to do something. As a manager, you need to know what's the problem, and then you want to make sure that we can catch up. Okay. What about if the work is overdone? Okay. Let's say you are here 11, but your work is at this point already. Is it good? It looks good because you work faster than you need. But here you have to check the quality. Is it quality work or not? So this is another role of a manager to check whether it's good quality or not. Okay, so this is another example. So again, we got our activities, we got our duration, and then we got the progress, the bar chart, okay, the timeline chart. Okay, so again, this one highlight the completed task and uncompleted task. So this is today. It says here this is today. So supposedly your work should be already done here until here, but it haven't get to this point yet. So something need to be checked. Okay, and then this is further than what is expected. So you also want to check the quality, right? Alright, so the importance of Gantt chart: help to plan out the tasks that need to be completed, give a basis of scheduling, allow the project allocation resources. So based on the schedule, we can allocate our resources, how much money, how much machine, how much equipment, how many people that are going to involve on this task. Okay, and have to work out the critical path. So basically, the critical path is we can know what is the total duration of the whole project. Okay, the entire project, how long it takes. Okay, so you can read through step to create Gantt chart, make task list, determine the start and finish the task list, all of this. Okay, you can refer this step here. And also what you can do class, you can go and find YouTube tutorial and creating Gantt chart. Okay, so this is an example of question. You can try this exercise here. Okay, you can pause this video and try to do this to create the Gantt chart. So you are actually expected to be able to create a Gantt chart and explain or analyze the Gantt chart. Okay, so you can do this in your own time. So this is an example of the solution. Okay, you can refer to this solution. Try to do by yourself first and then check the solution and compare to the solution here. Alright. Right, last but not least, we're going to look at 5W1H. So this is decision making tools. So basically class, when you want to make decision, you want to set what are activities in your planning, what are the decisions you're going to make in your planning. So you want to use 5W1H. What is 5W1H? You can read this in more detail. But basically, these are the importance: optimum use, make possible to adopt, find best solution, resolve conflicts, achieve goals, and has been set up. So this is the importance of having 5W1H. So what is exactly 5W1H? It's very simple. It's question. You question your decision. Okay, who is going to be involved? What are the things involved? When, where, why, and how you're going to make this. So you can read this through. So I'm going to skip this part very quickly here. So you can pause this video if you want to read out what is actually who, what is. So because I would love to work in example. So let's say we have a project. You are a project manager. We're going to create a parking lot ataupun building car park. So what are the 5W1H you're going to consider? So let's say one. So start with one. What design concept should we use? So maybe you want if you want to make it's a multi-story car park. So that's different concept. If one-story car park, different concept. You want to have its modern style. So what other concept should we use? Okay, so and then when, one of the question, when the project should start, okay, and when the project should be finished. Okay, why do we want to develop the car park? Okay, why do we develop the infrastructure? So we have to know. Okay, it's for maybe like you want to who's going to be the audience, who's going to be the stakeholders. So normally, like I can give you an example, when we go to a hospital, we have difficulty to find car parks. So maybe if this is close to a hospital, so your target audience maybe to have patients, to have hospital staff, to have people that going to the hospital to get car parks. Okay, so where the park should be located, who's going to be responsible for the task, and how many car parks should be there. So and how are you going to construct the car park, and so on. So those are the questions that you have to ask first. Then you can decide your decision. Okay. So some people they tend to neglect this 5W1H. So when they make decision, they don't make a very good or wise decision. So these are the answers that you can have. Car park surgery including ground level plus 2 suspended floors. Project will start for January 2035. Okay, by answering these questions that you know that you still have much time. Oh, alright, we don't have to be haste. Kita tak perlu tergesa-gesa untuk siapkan projek ni. Kita boleh cari lagi maklumat-maklumat. So it's important that you know the answer. Okay, kenapa kita nak develop? Sebab kita dah ada kapak sebelum ni, cuma dah tak muat. Okay, dah over capacity. Okay, alright. So then you know that you want to make sure that you have extra parking slots. Alright. The project will be located in front of College Medical University Kedah. So let's say College Medical Kedah, so kita nak bantu College Medical University Kedah lah. Okay, and so on. Alright. So from those answers, we can provide a final decision here. Okay, right. So, last but not least, in conclusion, operation keep lights on, strategy provide a light at the end of the tunnel, but project management is the train engine that moves the organizations forward. So this is important. Okay, guys. So that's all for this video. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.